All right, Henrietta. How have you been feeling lately? Any trouble sleeping? Or nausea, slight fevers, or muscle aches?
None of those, Mr. Bianchi.
You need to be honest, Henrietta. It's for your own sake.
I'm telling the truth. I've been feeling fine lately.
So then, are you confident you can listen to your handler and control your emotions?
Yes, sir. I'll try my very best.
Henrietta's as cute as ever. What a darling.
You got that right. Kinda makes me wish I had a daughter of my own.
If I had my way, I'd round up all the girls before you men got your hands on them, and start the best ballet company that Europe has ever seen.
You sure they'd enjoy that?
Of course they would.
Hey, Amadeo. I think I have a better idea of what to do with these girls.
Oh yeah? What's that, Giorgio?
We should put them on a soccer team.
That's perfect!
You Italian men are all the same.
Now. You all know my Henrietta is not your plaything.
Easy there, Tiger. We're just joking around.
Yeah, heavies like us don't know jack about taking care of a little girl, but that's obvious, huh?
All right, I'm done with Henrietta. Could you bring Angelica in about 10 minutes?
Yes, sir, of course.
Henrietta?
Huh?
I'm going to ask you one more time since Farrell left the room. Are you honestly feeling okay?
Doctor, please don't keep me from working. It's all there is for me to do. I've only killed 4 people this month, but the month before I killed at least 10. That's probably more than Triella's got.
So you're lying? About not feeling all right?
I'm fine. But if I don't say how many I've killed, I'm afraid you'll think I'm not usable anymore. You always report to someone about that, right?
Man, that girl is delicate.
So please.
Listen, Henrietta. Steady your emotions. Once you can do that, you won't need to worry anymore.
All right.
If I could only make that girl into a ballerina.
Olga, you're up next.
I win.
Come on in. Well, good morning, Angelica. Come and sit down. Do you remember me?
You're Dr. Bianchi.
That's my name, but it says it right here on my ID card. You look like you're doing pretty well lately.
Oh, I finally made it! Oh, don't tell me my sweet Henrietta is already done.
Don't even bother asking, Priscilla.
Jose, you'll have to lend me Henrietta sometime. I found this great boutique that she would adore.
Angelica? How many people do you recognize in these pictures?
Number 6 and number 9. Number 13. And number 20. Doctor, how many have I forgotten? Have I lost any important people in my head?
It's just a little test. Nothing to worry about. Do you remember this story? Once upon a time, there was a kingdom made of pasta. In this kingdom, there lived a prince who loved pasta and would eat it for every meal of every day.
That brings back memories.
Well then, that ring a bell?
Doctor, can I start working again soon?
I'm not the one who decides that, Angelica. You'll have to ask Marco.
Okay.
Jose, are you a little more satisfied now that you know what she's thinking? The only reason I allowed you to watch Henrietta's interview was because you requested it. Don't waste your time looking for more knowledge. What you need is faith. And Marco? The reason I forced you to sit through this was to hopefully renew your interest in being Angelica's handler. What happened to your enthusiasm?
Come on, Bianchi. You of all people should know how I ended up feeling this way. We went through it together. I worked long and hard to teach her everything I could, but it was those damn cyborg engineers. The conditioning process wiped her mind. Everything I taught was useless. Look, maybe you can rationalize it in your head because you're a doctor, but can you honestly say you'd have no problems with this if you were a handler yourself?
I understand how painful it is. They're studying the effects of the implants as we speak. Soon the side effects will be avoidable and possibly even reversible. Perhaps Angelica could hold out until they're done. But abandoning all hope for her is wrong.
Marco! They finally released me today. Now we can be together again. The doctor gave me this book to read. It's pretty good. But when can I start working?
Your unsteadiness is a handicap you can't afford. It's much too early for work. Go change clothes and start running laps. All of the girls from the social welfare agency are far from happy, but they're not necessarily unhappy, if they even know the difference. A few years ago, there was an unfortunate little girl named Angelina. Her own parents tried to kill her. Apparently, right before her father's business went bankrupt, he took out a large insurance policy on Angelina and was looking to cash in. Around that same time, I was...
So they dismissed you because your eyesight got worse? But I thought it was a workplace injury.
I don't care about the job, I'm just happy I can still see. Even if my eyesight is bad, I can still see your eyes. Oh, Patricia. They're the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
I must say, you have quite an impressive resume here, Marco. Consider yourself hired.
Thank you, sir. This is a great honor.
Oh, and by the way, do you like children?
Yeah, children are wonderful. So, who is this new organization working under? The State Department?
Dr. Bianchi highly recommended you, Marco. Did he not tell you anything about this job?
He just said I'd like the job and he couldn't talk about it.
Sounds like you have a lot of trust in his judgment. Come over here. I'll explain your job to you.
Daddy, Mommy, Pearl. Why am I in this bed? And who are you?
You are in a hospital right now that's part of the Social Welfare Agency.
A hospital? That's strange. I remember going on an errand with Pero. Then this car came after me. And the next thing I knew, I couldn't move.
The doctors use their magic to help you get better.
Where's my daddy? I'm Pero.
Your parents had to do something, so they'll be back later. And Pero is with them too.
Are you gonna stick me with that?
Why, do you not like getting shots?
Of course not. No kids like getting shots. How about if I tell you a story so you won't even know it's happening? Now, let's see what we've got. Do you like pasta?
I love it.
I'll tell you about the Prince of Pasta. A long, long time ago, there was a great kingdom made of pasta. In this kingdom, there lived a prince who loved pasta, and he would eat it every single day. This was great for him, but there was a problem. There was only one fork in the entire land, so the prince always had to eat his pasta all by himself. Well, even the most delicious pasta has no flavor when you're forced to eat it alone.
It still hurt anyway.
Yeah, I should have figured that.
We'll keep going. What happens with the pasta man?
I'll wait to tell you more when it's time for your next shot. Now, you behave yourself, okay? The nearly dead Angelina was reborn as a cybernetic test subject. I decided to rename her Angelica. Her parents were the scum of the earth for what they did to her, but I felt they were right in calling her an angel.
Oh,
And who's the little cutie, Marco? Is she your daughter?
she is the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
You two both know she's not my daughter. Angelica is our newest employee.
Oh, okay. They call me the Missionary of Love, Amadeo. It's a...
Well, I'm the fallen angel of love, Priscilla.
Back then, Section 2 was in its infancy. We had under 10 people on staff. We never got any real work, so we had plenty of spare time.
So how is she?
Almost too good. Those implants are incredible.
Does she ever ask you any questions about her family?
Yeah, sometimes. But whenever she brings it up, I pull out the Pasta Prince story. Once she hears that, she forgets all about it. It's kind of funny, because I keep making up the story as I go along.
Oh, you mean you made up that story about the pasta guy? I just always assumed it was from one of Patricia's children's books. Have you told her about your new job yet?
No, I'll get around to it next week.
Welfare? I thought you were with the military police.
Well, remember that old friend of mine, Bianchi? He's the one who got me in.
So what is it exactly that you do for them?
How should I put it? I kind of take care of children.
That's great news. We can see each other more often now. It's the perfect job for you, Marco.
Every time I saw Angelica, she would pester me about the rest of the story. I had completely run out of ideas, so I had some of my colleagues help me thicken up the plot. We really had nothing else to do at the time.
All the fairy tales I've ever heard have had a princess at least.
And maybe the princess could be kidnapped by a dragon.
A dragon, huh? I don't know. Seems kind of ordinary.
Well, we're not professionals, you know, and it's not like the story has to be
What are
complex.
former military and
Think about
intelligence
the
agents
stories
doing
and
yapping about
they're all
this?
simple and
Who the hell
they're
cares?
like
Nothing better to
being a
do.
dragon.
I wish they'd get that girl back into combat shape so we could get back into the
I see
field.
what you mean.
I'm
Maybe
sick
the
of
dragon
waiting
kidnapped
around.
her because he wanted a friend, just like the prince.
This storytelling is easier than I thought. Just as Giorgio was hoping, Angelica's implants were finished a short time later. By the time Prince Pasta had met Princess Pizza, Section 2 was finally strong enough to be used in anti-terrorist operations.
Why did you name him Prince Pasta?
Because only the Prince of the Pasta Kingdom can eat pasta. There's only one fork available in the whole kingdom, so only one person can be named Pasta.
In all this time you've been away at work, the last thing I expected you to be doing was writing a fairy tale for a little girl.
So, what are you writing down?
This all sounds very interesting to me, so I wanted to take notes. Marco, can't you tell me where you work? I'd really like to know.
The Social Welfare Agency. It's your typical government job.
Is that so?
Yep. Spread your feet apart about shoulders width, and be sure your arms are firmly locked in place. Don't touch the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Now go ahead and take a shot. Don't let the sound of recoil startle you.
Wow, that's an impressive first shot for a girl your age.
Huh?
Those cybernetic implants really are amazing.
Hey, Priscilla, just riding around wasting time again? What's with the stealthy sunglasses?
Hey, give me some credit here. I just finished hand-to-hand combat training.
You mean you train just like me, Priscilla?
Normally, I'm just a boring intelligence analyst, but I figure if I'm gonna be hanging around with you guys, I should probably toughen myself up a little bit. Strength brings possibilities.
Possibilities?
That's right. Possibilities that can be used for good or bad things. I wanted to help you just like the Pasta Prince saved Princess Pizza, but from the looks of it, you should be protecting me. So tell me, Angelica, did you find it scary shooting a gun for the very first time?
No, it was something I had to do, so I really enjoyed it.
This conditioning creeps me out sometimes.
Man, what the hell's your problem?
We do nothing but babysit all day, and I'm sick and tired of it.
So, take a look at your paycheck. It's not a bad day's work.
You know, I get the feeling you're just here to hit on chicks, you marine trash.
Tell me, Giorgio, are all ex-army as pinheaded as you? Do you really love murder that much?
Shut up!
It looks like the little baby wants to pick a fight. Come on!
If I could have it my way, I'd fire you both, but the agency doesn't see it that way. I'll make you suffer instead. I'm sending you to Army operations for the next 3 months. If you both want to act like macho thugs, you can do it there.
Yes, sir.
I guess I tested the possibilities that Priscilla was talking about. Do you think I failed?
Not at all. You did great, Angelica, and I am so proud of you. Ironically, this incident convinced the agency to put the cybernetic implants into a real-life test. And soon enough, Section 2 is in action. It was after that test we first started learning of some of the negative side effects to the cybernetic transformations.
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
Angelica.
Amadeo! Giorgio!
Hey, you're finally back.
Those 3 months seemed like an eternity.
You guys brought it on yourselves.
Yeah, we know. Angelica, here. Come on, apologize.
Yeah, thanks, I know. I'm really sorry about what happened.
And what happened? I must have missed it.
I have to admit, I'm shocked. I thought you two would be together forever.
Dr. Bianchi, what is it that Marco actually does for his job?
I'm not at...
You're not at liberty to tell me.
Huh?
He said the same thing to me. And the whole while, I could still smell the gunpowder on him. I can't live my life with someone who may or may not come home alive. All I want is a simple man with a normal job. Oh, whatever happened to that story he made up? The one about the Pasta Prince?
Right. He finished it, and it turned out really well. We actually all pitched in and helped him out.
You know, I never got the chance to hear the finished story. Would you mind telling it to me? If that's all right. I'd really love to turn it into a book.
I stopped telling Angelica the story a while back. I don't want to think that everything I did for her back then was in vain. Poor girl. She no longer remembers the story. Do one more lap and then we'll call it a day.
Yes, sir. Bye.